Hello, seniors. My name is Rosemary Panio, and I chair the Senior Advisory Committee for the town of Yorktown. I'm very happy today to be here with our supervisor, Matt Slater, and an old friend, Jim Maizano, who is now the Director of Consumer Protection. Did I say that right, Jim?
You did.
For the County of Westchester. And we're here today because, as you all know, we cannot meet as a group due to what is going on now with the coronavirus. But we wanted to be sure that you understood that we're still very interested in knowing that your quality of life is being safeguarded. And if you need anything, we want to let you know where you should call so that you can get help with anything that you need. So we'll start today with Supervisor Slater. How are you? It's nice to
Good,
see you.
Rosemary. Thanks so
Good.
much. And Jim, it's always good to see you, especially up here in the North Country of Yorktown. I know you're a New Rochelle guy.
So happy to be here.
But as Rosemary said, unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, we felt that it was safer for our seniors if we postponed the Senior Advisory Committee meetings for the foreseeable future. And of course, that's for everyone's health and well-being, and that's our number one priority. We understand that it makes it more difficult because our seniors obviously like to engage with each other, and I'm sure many miss seeing you and the other members of your board. But of course,
Don't worry, they call me.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. But obviously, the health and well-being of our seniors is our number one priority. And so until we get to a point where we feel safe enough to gather once again, we're happy to provide these types of updates to the seniors through both our government access channel, our town website, and our YouTube channel, which we have now for the town of Yorktown. So for our tech-savvy seniors, you can watch us as many times as you want on YouTube. But we do have still a number of programs that we're offering through the town. I want to start with our Senior Nutrition Center and our Senior Nutrition staff, who have just been absolute warriors during this entire pandemic. They haven't stopped once. They've
That's
continued
wonderful.
to provide food for our homebound seniors.
Good.
Instead of having our seniors come to the Senior Nutrition Center, we're now going to them. We've been
Beautiful.
doing that since the pandemic started, again, with the same theory in mind, which is that we're trying to protect the health and well-being of our seniors, and so preventing them from gathering and potentially putting each other at risk is the thought process behind that. So Noreen O'Driscoll continues just to do
Yes, very
such a
good.
great job. We're now serving over 140 seniors in the town of Yorktown, and if you think that's a lot, you should also know that we're also making food for the town of Somers for their seniors, and starting next month, we've added the town of Cortland. So our kitchen staff is working very, very hard, and we're providing some very, very important services to not only our residents, but residents in some of our neighboring communities. And frankly, it's life-saving services as well, because otherwise these seniors would not be getting the nutrition they need.
Proper nutrition, right?
And that's, of course, something that's critical,
It's a
especially
wonderful
during this
kitchen.
time.
It's a beautiful kitchen.
It is. They
I
keep
like
it.
to-
They keep
I
it in
know.
perfect shape. They really do. So you can continue. For anyone who wants to be added to the Meals on Wheels program, you can call the Senior Nutrition Center, and they will add you to the list. There is no waiting list at this point in time. So anyone who, and of course, this also goes for caregivers. If you want to call on behalf of your mother or father or your loved one, you can do that, and you can call the Senior Nutrition Center, and they can add you to that list. In addition, I also want to point out that it is fall now. We're now beyond summer, and winter's not too far away. So we've already had a few brisk nights. I know I had to turn the heat on in my house at least once. And we do have the Yorktown Heating Oil Plan that's available for all Yorktown residents. This is just for our residents, not for commercial property owners. It's free to join. It guarantees a reduced rate for your oil purchasing. You can call my office, which is 962-5722, extension 201. You'll talk to Jenna Belcastro, who's my assistant, and we'll put you right into that program. And you can find all the participating companies on the town website, and that's a great service that we're happy to continue with. In addition, of course, we still have our senior shopping hours. We've been calling our grocery stores to make sure that that's continued. I think we were the first community in Westchester, maybe beyond, to institute the senior shopping hours. So that continues in the morning as a safe time for our seniors to go and shop without the height of crowds in our grocery stores. Our drugstores are delivering. We did confirm that CVS Pharmacy is delivering prescriptions. So if you're getting your prescription filled over at CVS, you can request that they deliver. Rexall Drugs, which is here in Yorktown Heights, and the Taconic Pharmacy, which is up in Jefferson
right.
Valley, they also deliver. So if any of our seniors are getting any of their prescriptions filled, feel free to ask for that service, and they will happily provide it. Lastly, the other thing I just wanted to talk about is Ride Connect. We've talked about Ride Connect before.
Yes.
They are a fantastic volunteer-based organization who provides rides for our seniors. They are continuing to operate. This is for anyone over the age of 60. They have also volunteer shoppers. So if you're uncomfortable going to a grocery store, you can call Ride Connect, and they will actually have volunteers do some shopping for you. And they have, once again, they stopped this due to COVID, but they are now doing it again. They are also providing services to bring our seniors to their medical appointments, which is very useful as well. And the number for Ride Connect is 914-242-7433. I'll say it one more time. It's 914-242-7433. So any of our seniors in need, if you need a ride to a medical appointment, if you need a ride to the grocery store, if you're looking for someone to shop for you, you can call Ride Connect.
And is there a cost connected?
Nope,
In fact,
nope,
no.
that is-
Well, it's free.
that is free.
Free
Yep.
service. Okay.
Obviously, they pay for the cost of their groceries,
Oh yes.
obviously.
You can also call. Some stores will shop for you.
There are several
Shop
that'll
ahead
shop
here in
for you.
town,
Yeah.
and you can either pick them up at the door, or if they are one of the stores that do deliver, then they can deliver to you.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And there are a number doing that as well. And then the last thing I just wanted to point out, we talk a lot about it's important for our seniors to remain active, and I know that it's more and more challenging when the current climate with the coronavirus out there. There are some safe places to go though, and one of the places that I like to talk about is our farmers markets. We have a number of farmers markets in town now. The Jefferson Valley Mall just launched their
Yes,
farmers
that's
market.
exciting.
And they do that every Wednesday afternoon over at the Jefferson Valley Mall. We have Meadows right here next to Town Hall,
Yes,
which has been a
lovely
staple
people.
of this
Yeah.
community for decades.
Yes.
And so that's a very safe outdoor environment where you can go get fresh produce that's grown locally. And they have just a great selection for everybody. And then we have a number of farms also in Yorktown that provide produce. Hilltop Hanover Farm. I was down at Fable Farm over the weekend, and they have a wonderful selection and mini market that's open air and very COVID safe for people to go to. So it just gives seniors
Wilkins, we have Wilkins.
and Wilkins, of
Right.
course. How can you forget Wilkins? That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But we do have a number of places for seniors to go outdoors
Mm-hmm.
if they're looking to shop and get some local produce, which obviously is important for their health and well-being, but
Sure.
also gets them outside, open air, again in a COVID-safe environment. As a reminder, though, I just have to say it: if you are going outside, I have my mask right here. We're all
Mine.
6 feet apart here. We all have our masks, but it is really that important to wear your mask. I was with my friend Lenny yesterday. Thanks to our friends at the Jefferson Valley Mall, they let us in to the Jefferson Valley Mall a little early yesterday because we were celebrating Lenny's 99th birthday.
99th?
Wow.
99th birthday, a World War II veteran.
Oh my goodness! I
It
thought
was
it was 91.
Absolutely phenomenal, and we had a nice little group, all veterans actually. Had a nice little group, about 6 or 8 folks, and everyone had their masks on, and we were enjoying some birthday cake at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wonderful.
But Lenny, happy birthday again!
Yes, happy birthday.
And I got to say, Lenny is sharp as a tack, and just one of the best sense of humors you can find in this town. But it was great to see him, as well as, of course, Tony Grasso and
Tony,
Jenny.
I know Tony
yeah.
was there. Yes.
Yeah, and the other gentlemen who were with us. But my point being, though, we all had our masks on. So even when you're going out, it's better to be safe than sorry in this instance. You just don't know, the individuals or what you're coming into contact with. So please be smart, wear your mask, and of course, wash your hands and always have that hand sanitizer in your pocket. I've got like 4 bottles in my car when I drive around. You know how it is, Jim.
I have them in my car, I have them all over my house, everywhere I go, my office, there's hand sanitizer.
Exactly.
And most stores have them at the door.
They do, yeah.
So
yeah.
you can use them
They've done a
there.
great job. And by the way, Rosemary, if I can also say, here at Town Hall, we did begin allowing people into Town Hall. It's by appointment
appointment, right.
only. So if you do want to come to Town Hall and you want to drop off your taxes, because our tax deadline's coming up on September 30th, or Jim's pulling out his hand sanitizer as we speak, or if you need to have any questions or you need to have some issues, you can come to Town Hall. Just call ahead, make an appointment with your respective office, and there's a whole check-in process that we go through just to make sure that everyone's safe. But we also have updated our hours. Instead of it being 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., which really, I think, pose a challenge to many of our residents who work. We're now open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Wow,
So this way,
that's good.
people who work can come do business with the town before they get to work instead of having to figure out how they're going to take off time to come visit Town Hall.
And there was also a lockbox outside.
Dropbox remains outside.
Dropbox
We've
is
had that out there
outside
since
for your-
April.
so
Yep,
that
and
you
I
could
think it's
drop
going to
your
stay there
tax.
for the
Yes,
foreseeable future.
absolutely.
So you don't need to make an appointment to drop off your taxes. You can drop it off right in the Dropbox, and it gets processed by our staff, and we collect the items in the Dropbox several times a day. So you can be assured that it will be collected and processed properly.
Good. Well, I guess the main topic today for us is the scam calls that many seniors are getting all hours of the day. And it is very frightening to some people. But we want to hear what you have to say about that. And we want to remind seniors never to give out any of the numbers that they request from their cards. So if you would tell us a little bit about what's going on with that, because it's a big problem.
Well, first, I'd like to say to Senior Advocate Panio and Supervisor Slater, thank you so much for this very kind invitation. I was thinking when I arrived that I have been friendly with Rosemary for over 2 decades.
I would say
and with
so.
Matt for over a decade, and we've worked on a lot of things together over these decades, and I know you're 2 very fine public servants, and it's great to see you still out there helping out the people of Yorktown, and seems like things are going so well in Yorktown, maybe I'll have to move up here someday.
Uh-oh.
I'm very impressed with Yorktown.
See, that's what happens when you make things good.
I
Yes.
know.
You're doing such a great
Yeah.
job, people are going to come.
That's okay.
So I'm happy to be here and to chat with both of you today.
Thank you.
So for background, I am the director of the Westchester County Consumer Protection Department, also a practicing lawyer for over 25 years, and a former Westchester County legislator where I served a little over 20 years as a legislator, where I worked with both Rosemary and Matt in my career. So I greatly enjoy the job. It's been so interesting. It's fun to take on a new challenge in life, and it's a great office because if you both think about it, right, you both have been involved in public life for so long. One of the best things you can do in public life is help people. And that's what we do all day long in consumer protection. And one area where we help people would be scams. Prior to the pandemic, I literally went and spoke to seniors all over Westchester to do this very thing we're doing today, to explain what's going on with the scams and how seniors can protect themselves. And I always say to seniors, the best person to protect you from scams is you. You really need to be proactive and protect yourself because the scams are coming at you quickly. They're coming at you by phone. They're coming by mail. They're coming by email. Now they're coming by text. The scams are coming from all different directions. And make no mistake about it, it's organized crime. The scam industry, these spammers and scammers, they're doing all these things. It's organized crime at this point. You talk to law enforcement, we've talked to FBI officials, Justice Department, New York State Attorney General. It's extremely hard for them to prosecute because so much of the activity is coming from outside the United States.
Wow.
So it's very hard to even catch them. So it's a very serious threat to seniors and everybody else, the scams. The general rule, kind of what Rosemary was getting at, is what we tell people. Let's start with the phones. When you get an unsolicited phone call, when someone calls you and you don't know who it is, it's probably best not even to pick it up. Now, that's hard for people to do. We're so used to picking up our phone. But we recommend that you screen calls as much as possible. You know, if you have the basic cell phones everybody has now, if someone calls you from their contacts the name comes up on the phone. Of course, you answer those calls. But if you don't know who's calling you, it's likely it's someone trying to sell you something or it's a scammer, one or the other. I mean, that's literally like half the calls now.
Oh, yes.
So you could it's a great practice for seniors and everyone else to seriously screen your calls. I could tell you point blank, as the Westchester County Consumer Protection Director, I never answer a phone call if it doesn't come up as somebody I know. Why? Because it goes to voicemail. And if it's a real call, they'll leave a voicemail, and then I can call them back. So that's one way I avoid the scam calls. These scammers are looking to do two things. They're looking to steal your identity, and they're looking to steal your money. Okay? And sometimes both. Probably usually both. And they're tricky, and they're good at it. And one reason why we tell seniors in particular not to answer their phone is we've even seen evidence where they're recording your voice when you answer the phone. And if you say the word yes, they can use that recording to say you asked for something. They use yes. So it's that tricky. It's that high tech.
So never say the word yes.
Yeah, or yeah. So as soon as you realize it's a scam call, hang up immediately. Like some seniors have fun saying, "Well, I give them a hard time." I don't think that's the best route any longer. Don't engage with them. Don't communicate with them. Don't speak with them. Now, a lot of times, Rosemary asked me to talk about when they say they're calling from the government, Social Security, IRS, Medicaid, Medicare. Those agencies don't call you out of the blue.
Good. I'm glad you mentioned that.
They don't do that, okay? But if they say they're from one of those agencies, what do? Hang up the phone, and then you call them. You make the call.
From the number on the back of your card.
Back of the card, or if you want to go on, you can go online sometimes and find more information. But either way, if you're unsure if a call is legitimate, hang up the phone, and then you call the person who's allegedly calling you. And now you're making the communication, and you know it's proper. Right. That's a great way to protect yourself. And that goes with the ones say they're calling about your credit card or your bank. The scammers are hitting you every which way. You need to know your auto loan, your home insurance. They're calling every which way to try to get you to converse with them, talk with them so they can steal information from you. And they don't need a lot of information. You know, we've seen studies where they ask questions so they can figure out your password. They have these databases, right? They can plug information in and try to figure out what, you know, if you tell them your birthday, if you tell them where you grew up, if they tell you your maiden name.
Security questions.
They ask those questions, they plug them into a computer that'll help use for any passwords that you have. This is organized crime. Yeah. This is serious stuff. So don't engage with them. Don't speak with them. Hang up the phone, and then you call your bank, you call your credit card company, you call the IRS, or you call Social Security, and you make it, and now you have a clean chain to have a conversation. I do it myself. You know, I constantly, if I get a call and they say we're calling from the IRS, click, then I can call the IRS and see if there's a problem with my IRS account. The IRS never calls you. That's like 100% of the time they never call people. They send you a letter.
Social Security or Medicare, I think, would not call you either.
They don't call you.
Yeah, there's census, right? Because the census is going on. We're just about to come down to they don't call you. They don't do the proactive outreach. You have to call them.
Yeah, the only thing the census did though was they followed up if they had questions. So there was calls on not initial call.
Not the initial call.
But follow-up calls they did.
But they're not going to call and say you haven't filled out the census.
No.
And then they ask you for your information.
No.
Because we've heard of that happening.
Yeah,
as well.
the census scams are out there.
Yeah.
There's definitely census scams, and people are using the census. That's the interesting thing. Like someone told me, called my office, said, they have all these brand new scams for the pandemic and COVID, coronavirus. And I said, not really. It's the same scams they have for everything else. They just changed the name.
Just change the name.
No, it's a model. The scams are a model. And they were at the beginning of the pandemic, they had scams about testing. They had scams about protective gear, masks, hand sanitizer. They had a scam for everything. So, again, you can only protect yourself. Any unsolicited communication that comes into you by phone, by email, by mail, by text, do not respond. But there's nothing wrong with you making the communication yourself.
Right.
The only thing is, as I see every day, a number will come up If I leave all the TVs in my house on, so whatever room I'm walking in, I could see who's calling on the phone. Some of them are people I know.
Well, there is spoofing
Yeah.
where they can somehow, I don't fully understand technology, but they can trick the phone companies into listing a different phone number from the one it's really actually coming from.
Right.
So, well, look, if that happens, you thought your friend was calling, and you quickly find out it's not your friend, hang up the phone. I can't say that enough today.
Right.
Hang up the phone.
And you see the same thing with emails. The
Definitely.
spoofing of emails. You and I both know
Yes,
someone who
yes,
was a victim
yes,
of this.
yes.
Yes.
They received an email from someone, a mutual acquaintance
Yes.
of Rosemary and mine, saying, "Oh, I need your help. I need $300 immediately." And so the senior shot $300 over to this person, thinking she was helping a friend, and it was a
Incredible.
scam. And
Incredible.
lost 300. I mean, and for seniors, $300 is a
It's
lot
a lot of money.
for
It's a lot of
seniors on
money.
fixed incomes.
Absolutely.
And so you just have to be very careful. It's the same concept, I think, Jim, right?
Yes.
If you get an email, a suspicious email from someone asking you for money, you should call them up on the phone
Absolutely.
and say, you know, John, are you
What happened? Are you
what-
okay?
Are you okay?
Right.
Do you need my money? Do you need help? And
Right.
most of the time, I think a lot of the people are going to say, what are you talking about?
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
we have seen that a lot
Absolutely.
in town here just recently.
Yes, and a couple of times it happened to me recently with people I know very well. So I did call them up on the phone and say what happened, you know, and of course it was a farce.
Well, that's what Matt just raised is very similar to the infamous scam that's been going on for almost a full decade now. It's the longest, maybe, running scam of the phone scams, and that's called the grandparent scam.
Oh.
Okay, where someone calls up and they poses as your grandchild.
Yep.
And we have actually seen some data reviewed where, talk about social media, they actually go online and look up personal information about the grandchild so they can impersonate them.
Amazing.
They go like Facebook, for instance. All right, so we've actually seen law enforcement come up and find that out, that they can actually get the name, where they went to school, so they can trick the grandparents.
Yeah.
So they call up and they say, Grandma, Grandpa, this is your grandson, Joseph. I'm in Italy, and I lost my wallet, and I can't get home, and I need money, or I'm not going to be able to get home.
Right.
And the grandparents many times panic. They're nervous.
Oh, right,
It's
right.
immediately that they
Absolutely.
think it's their grandchild calling. So what we've seen the last year or so is how the scam works is if the grandparent falls for it, and hopefully they don't, right? They're going to protect themselves. But they say, here's what you do, because I'm so far away. Go to the store and get cards. You know, you buy those
Yeah,
cards you
the
get.
gift cards, yeah.
Gift cards. I need $300 worth of gift cards. And then call me back with the numbers. That way I can use the cards here in Italy, and I can get the money to come home.
Oh my goodness.
And that's how they do it. And that's how it's much harder for law enforcement to catch them that way. So, you know, if they tap into your bank account or your credit card, it's easy to track.
That happened to my in-laws, actually.
It happened to me.
And you'd appreciate this because my in-laws live at West Point, and they do a lot of mentoring with cadets, and they pose as one of the cadets
Wow.
who they
Oh my dear.
frankly cared for. I mean,
Terrible.
this one guy was at our Thanksgiving table. I mean, seriously. And they were saying, they called up, my father-in-law picked up, and they said, hey, it's so-and-so. I'm in trouble. Can you wire me some money? And so thankfully my father-in-law was like, this doesn't sound right. And so he said, hold on a second, got on the other phone, called around to find out where this individual was and who, you know, if he was safe, and was able to confirm, in fact, that it was a scam. But crazy.
Well,
Absolutely.
this actually
Crazy.
happened to me with one of my children, and they said that they needed money. They were in the airport in Italy, and they needed money to get through for whatever reason, which I said, gee, that's very odd because he's sitting in front of me right now, you know. But they had gotten, one of my children was on one of these, you know, these programs where you have a semester abroad.
Oh, gotcha.
And, I mean, they were a little late, but there he was, sitting right in my living room.
It's unbelievable.
So
Let's stick to the script here, right? So if you get that call, hang up the phone
Yep.
and call your grandchild.
Right.
Call your child, the
Absolutely.
parent of the grandchild.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you have that conversation with them and find out if there's really a problem
Yes.
before you run out to the store and buy gift cards.
Blindly give them money.
Blindly give them money, so-
And
Absolutely.
you have to stay
absolutely.
vigilant. You really do.
Absolutely.
I mean, to Jim's point, You see them on the text messages. You see, I get them. You see them on the phone, the emails. I mean, it's coming at you very, very fast.
Yes.
And they're just trying to get that emotional response.
Absolutely.
Yes.
For you to
Absolutely.
just say, "What do you need? Here you go." And it's just really
Terrible.
disheartening that they play on our seniors' emotions.
Right. And
so just be very, very vigilant and some great tips, Jim.
Sure.
Great tips.
Anything that sounds like "Have I got a deal for you" is probably
Yeah, I got a
Right.
bridge to sell you.
Well, I realize the seniors at Yorktown have two great advocates in Rosemary and Supervisor Slater, but I also want to make available my office to your seniors.
Wonderful.
If they need help, the best way for a senior probably is just call us.
Yeah.
Which is 914-995-2155. That's 914-995-2155. We take every call. We put an inspector on every call to do intake, to talk to the people calling, get to understand what the problem is, see if it's something we could do. I mean, sometimes people call, it's something we can't help them with, but
Right.
we try our best to help everybody. So your seniors should feel free to contact the Westchester County Consumer Protection Office anytime with questions.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that because they are, they do get frightened. A lot of the seniors
Yeah.
who have been alone for a long period of time, especially now that they don't go out that much, would have more of a tendency, I would imagine, to pick up the phone. And I'm happy that they have all of these services available to them.
Can I mention two other ways we could be helpful to seniors?
Sure.
So our office does a lot of things. But one place where we do advocacy for people that might have been harmed in some way, if you go to a store and you feel you got ripped off in some way, okay? Anywhere in Westchester, doesn't have to be Yorktown, could be anywhere. For instance, I'll just throw one out. You got a circular in the mail and it said there was a sale, and you got to the cash register and you clearly the sale was still going, but they didn't recognize the piece of paper you got from the newspaper that said there was a sale and didn't give you the discount. Call us. We will contact that store and we will negotiate on your behalf and try to make it right. We'll do an investigation. We'll check it out. So if seniors have a bad interaction in the business, with a commercial retail store, and they feel they got ripped off, they can call our office again, 914-995-2155. And if it's something we can intervene on, we will, and we do every day. We have 3 inspectors that do this all day long. They do consumer complaints. Another critically important thing that we can help seniors and everybody else is when you're hiring a contractor. We work really hard every day doing background checks on contractors to make sure the person coming into your home, be home improvement contractor or outside a landscaper or a plumber or electrician, somebody check them out.
Right.
We do a very detailed background check to make sure there's no threats that we see before they come into your home. That's all listed on our website.
That's great.
Anybody can go and check out if a particular contractor you're about to hire, plumber, electrician, home improvement contractor, landscaper, did somebody check them out and did someone give them a license? We give them licenses. So call us. If you have a question, we'll tell you right on the phone if the person has a license or not. You should never hire an unlicensed contractor because you have no idea who's walking into your home.
And they're going to be in your home with you,
Absolutely.
and that's especially scary.
We do a
for
criminal
us.
background check. We do an insurance check. We do a finance check to make sure they don't have all kinds of debts against them. We do a pretty detailed search.
That's all online, you said?
It's all online. So on the Westchester Consumer Department section of the county website, we have links where you can get into the debate database. So you can try to check it out yourself. But if you just want to
Right, if
call
you
us,
just wanna call, yeah,
we'll put
right.
someone on the phone who'll go into the
You're right.
database and check for you.
That
Either
helps-
way.
That helps all of our residents, not just seniors,
Yes.
but everybody.
Helps
Yes.
everybody.
So don't hire unlicensed contractors. Use this resources through the county government. You're paying your taxes for this resource.
Yeah.
Check out the background of contractors using our licensing process.
It's great, Jim. That's a great
The
service.
other side of that is not all seniors are very good with computers.
Sure.
So we have to also remember that.
Which is why I say call.
Right,
if you-
calling is important.
Well, they can
and
call
you
our
can
office, that's
direct
fine.
them, yes,
And if
that's a
they
good
can call
thing.
Jim's office, they can call our office, 962-5722, extension 200.
Good.
And they
I
can
know,
call.
yes, that's.
I tell people, don't
yes.
wait. People like to wait until town board meetings sometimes.
I
Don't
know.
wait. We work all day, every day.
Yep.
So,
And he does.
what time were you getting emails from me last night?
I said, let me just check my computer before I turn everything off. And there's an email. I said, said to my husband, this guy doesn't sleep.
Doesn't sleep. He's a hardworking guy, that Supervisor Slater.
Oh, I learned from Jim. So.
Thank you.
But
So
see,
if you get anything in your office that you think we can work with you on,
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
hesitate to contact us. We're
That'd
here
be
for you.
awesome. That'd be great. That'd be a great partnership.
I know
We appreciate that.
I frequently have to call my 13-year-old I said, TR, could you come and help Nana with this? Because,
Yeah.
all right, no, okay. But because they are so good and so fast with those fingers.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
But we're very concerned about our seniors. We know that most people in this town interact with each other, so we're very happy about that. And we kind of look out for each other. I know I call my neighbors
Oh,
frequently.
kind of. We do look out
We
for each
do.
other.
If I don't see certain neighbors at mass, at a certain mass that we usually see them at,
You check in on
I'll
them.
give them a call and say, "You
Absolutely. That's
okay?
great.
Did something happen?" But so that's very important to us. But we do want to be just so sure that our seniors know that we care about them, that we want them to enjoy these well-deserved years, and that if there's any problem they have, I tell them all the same thing: call Matt.
Yeah, please.
Call the supervisor, and he will give you directions as to what you should be doing. So I'm happy about that. Also, can't emphasize enough, take your cell phone to your bedroom with you at night. Don't leave it in another room, because if you have an emergency call, you need to have it at your
Great.
bedside.
Sure.
And the other thing is, make sure you program in the number for the police department, so that you don't have to look it up or think about what it is. It's already programmed in there, and you can call them immediately if a need arises.
Great idea. Also, if people have Alexa,
Yep.
that app, I believe you can
Yes.
say dial 411, and they do that for you.
Yes, my friend who's in her 90s, she does, her children did set her up with Alexa, so I was very happy about that. Yes, that's a good
And
thing.
just as a reminder, the police department number is 962-4141.
Yes,
So I have it. I have it programmed in my phone. I
I do
programmed it in my
too.
mom's phone, my grandmother's phone, my wife's phone, and to your point, it's
well,
just
I called my 13-year-old and I said, TR, could you program the police
Yeah.
department into Nona's phone?
Great.
Why? What'd you do? I said, I didn't do anything. Just program it into the phone for me, okay? But so, they're little things, but
Sure.
God forbid, an emergency, it's going to be
that
very
adrenaline
helpful.
kicks in and you're
Yes,
panicking.
yes.
It's just a lot better and easier
You
to just
fall
mark down
or,
police than trying to remember what that
right,
number is
right.
and dial it in.
Not even just seniors. You know, my son's now
Everyone.
away at college.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
I agree.
When we went to the orientation, before he was a freshman, the police came in and did the presentation. They said every kid should have the local police programmed into their phone.
Wonderful. That's a great idea.
South Carolina, right?
University of South Carolina Gamecocks.
All right, there you go.
And you talked about stores and, what they charge or don't charge. It's very important that you read your bill. They give you a bill. Make sure you get your bill, especially if you've charged the purchase, which you had to do a month ago because nobody was taking cash. And make sure you read your bill and go over it and make sure that everything that is due you for that shopping list is the right price and is really what you purchased.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, I go over the bill at the end and I read every single line. And sometimes there are issues. It's not necessarily because they want to do something, irregular. It's just human error can happen.
happens.
And on a sale item or what have you, or your senior discount day.
Sure.
Most of the stores here have senior discount days. So
Great
make
idea.
sure you got your 5%. 5% of
Listen,
a
it all
$100
adds
bill
up.
adds up at the end of the
All
month.
adds
So
up.
yes,
We tell seniors and everyone else, check your receipts when you come out of the store, but also go through your credit card reports
Yep.
At
each
the end of the month, yes.
And go through and read every line to see if you wrongly got charged for something. Go
Absolutely.
through your bank statement, your credit card statement, and really go through those with a fine-tooth comb because you might find a scam there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that applies to everybody, though.
Sure,
not
absolutely.
Just our seniors,
Yes, everybody.
Absolutely.
but all of our consumers. I
Yes.
do it with my wife every month, and then I remind her how many things she bought from Amazon. But it's important to do. It's
Sure.
important to go through and
Definitely.
see, just because if you see something on there that you don't recognize, you're allowed to question it,
Absolutely.
and you should question it because it's going to save you money.
Absolutely,
question.
absolutely, and it's a good way of avoiding the success for some of these people who are trying to scam us all the
And on
time.
credit cards, what we have found is all the big named credit cards companies, if you identify a mistake on your bill and you notify them right away, they do try to work with you to correct it. They're very good about
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely, yes. I've had that experience as well. But I'm very happy to be able to, is there anything else you'd like to add, gentlemen?
No, I think that if we aren't able to meet next month, you and I will probably put another similar session together like this where we
Yes.
can provide some more information and useful tips for our seniors. Jim, this was terrific.
Sure.
The information that you've been able to provide is so valuable, and it's just a great reminder. And I say it again, though, it's not just for, it is for our seniors, but it's important for everyone, all of our consumers, to also recognize that these threats are out there and some of the ways to be on the lookout for them and how to react to them. But we'll be back next month,
Next
though,
month,
if we're not able
yes.
to convene, which I at this point I would say is probably the safest bet.
Right.
And we'll continue to provide some more information. And we're working on some other programmatic items that we've talked about. We're partnering with some of our local fitness centers and
That's
rehab
wonderful. That's
centers,
very important.
physical therapy centers to provide some physical activity for our seniors in the same manner. Maybe some, I think we're talking about some chair yoga. We've talked with Club Fit. We've talked with Ivy Rehab about
Good.
being able to provide something, and that's something that also Noreen O'Driscoll has been very.
She's wonderful. She's quite
she
good.
really is,
Yes,
and she's been
she's quite
advocating for that
good.
as well.
Yes.
So we're going to continue to find ways to engage our seniors
Good.
despite the challenges. But I do want to thank Rosemary for your
Thank
help
you.
in doing that
Thank
as well.
you. Well, we know we have a lovely following when we have our meetings, so we want
I've
to.
been here, I know, and you guys are tough.
We want to. We have wonderful people on our board who are all very interested and very active in the
Yes.
community, but we want to be sure that seniors understand that we are concerned about their needs and that we're here for them if they need us.
It was one other thing, Jim. I don't know if you're involved in it. It just popped in my head because when I was thinking of it, was the storm that we had in August. Optimum was doing a proactive credit for residents who had power but no service from Optimum. We've been in touch with. I met yesterday with Con Ed. They provided some data, and I'm inviting them to the October 6th town board meeting. We're gonna have a pretty long meeting that day. It sounds like. But they're going to come to the town board to provide that
Great.
data to the public, so we can see how we can improve on the response time. I was talking with again our friends Tony Grasso and Jenny Menton about this. I'm not sure if that's something that you're involved in your office in regards to helping residents who have issues with Optimum or
It's an interesting
Verizon
question.
or
As you know, Supervisor Slater, since you had years of experience in the state government, Optimum and FiOS are regulated by the state.
Correct.
And they've preempted local governments from regulating them. So the only thing we do, if someone has a minor discrepancy with their bill and they're having trouble getting a connection with one of them, we'll make the call.
Right.
And see if we can intervene and help them.
good.
But beyond that, it's hard for us because we don't regulate them. We can't even write a ticket
Yeah.
against them. So it's
Okay.
not, but we will make a call and try to help.
Okay, that's
Kind of
good to
probably
know.
exactly what you do.
Yeah, I mean, we've been able to build, I think, a pretty productive relationship with all of those entities. It is frustrating at times, and I understand that. But those are conversations that we're still having, both with the utility companies, NYSEG and Con Ed, but as well as the telecommunication companies, Optimum and Verizon. So those are all things.
Well,
that
I had
continue
received
to
an
add to
email
that.
from the town, I believe, that Optimum was going to deduct the days that that we were without our.
Correct.
our-
They're doing a
but
proactive credit, so you have to look for it on your bill. If you don't see it on your bill,
It's not on my bill.
let us know,
Okay.
and we'll go contact Optimum on your behalf.
Should I call them?
You can call them, or honestly, in all fairness, feel free to kick it to my
Okay,
office, and
yep.
we have an established government
Okay,
liaison
okay.
who they've provided to us, and so we can get an answer as
Because I looked
to.
for that and I said, no, it's not on here.
Yeah, they're billing. It could be a couple things.
I know. That's
so,
why I
but
waited.
feel free
Okay.
to let me know about it, and if you can give me a copy of your bill,
Okay.
and we can shoot it over to our liaison to get a clear answer.
Very good, because, at the end of the day, seniors are on fixed incomes,
Right.
Sure.
and these little things do add up.
They add
At
up.
the
They
end
do.
of the year,
They do.
anything we can do for them to make their lives more comfortable and so that they could pay their bills and relax, we're very happy about. And I look forward to our next meeting, because I think that'll be an interesting one as well. And we can maintain that continuity that we have
Sure.
with our seniors who attend our meetings.
Sure. Rosemary, I'd like to make an offer, if I may.
Yes.
After we get through the other side of the tunnel and we're outside of the pandemic and we get our vaccinations and life goes back to more normal, I'm always available to come up and speak to all your seniors. If you ever
Wonderful.
want me to come up and talk about
Yes.
all the things our office does and the scams, happy to come and speak to them anytime.
That would be very nice. We have a
Great, Jim.
lovely
Thank you.
meeting. We have, also, we have a lunch sponsor, as you know, New York Presbyterian Hudson Valley Hospital. And we usually have a doctor come up to speak about whatever ailments people have. But that's a very good, it's a wonderful service, so I thank you for that
Sure.
very much. Thank you.
Packed room. It's good.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
be very
it's a
good.
good group and very lively. We have very lively seniors in this town, I would say, right?
do, without a
Yes.
doubt.
And we're happy about that. That's what we want. We want to protect their quality of life, so that's very good. So I thank you both. This has been wonderful. I look forward
pleasure.
to
Thank
seeing
you.
you again. I was
Sure.
happy to see you today.
Great, great.
Been a
Thanks.
long
Me too.
time, and I look forward to speaking with you as I do frequently.
Do.
Good.
We got a lot of good things we're working on for our seniors.
Wonderful. And thank the members of the Senior Advisory Committee as well as the Town Board and everyone who really does really a wonderful support for our seniors. So thank you very much.
Great.